Welcome to our exploration of the human mind and what shapes behavior. In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating world of psychology, uncovering how our thoughts, feelings, and actions are influenced by both internal and external factors. From the basic structure of the brain to the complexities of social interactions, we'll journey through the mechanisms that drive our choices and reactions. Understanding the mind is not just about science, it's about understanding ourselves and others. Let's begin by setting the stage for this deep dive into human cognition and behavior, highlighting why this topic matters in everyday life. To understand how the mind works, we first need to look at the brain's structure. The brain is made up of billions of neurons, each communicating through electrical and chemical signals. Key regions, such as the prefrontal cortex, limbic system, and cerebellum, play distinct roles in thinking, feeling, and movement. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for decision-making and planning, while the limbic system governs emotions and memory. The cerebellum helps coordinate movement and balance. By examining these areas, we gain insight into how physical structures support mental processes and ultimately shape our behavior. Neurons are the building blocks of the brain, and their communication is essential for all mental activity. Each neuron sends signals through synapses, using neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. These chemicals influence mood, motivation, and perception. When neurons fire together, they create patterns that form thoughts, memories, and behaviors. The efficiency and strength of these connections can change over time, a process known as neuroplasticity. This adaptability allows us to learn, remember, and recover from injuries. Neural communication is the foundation of everything the mind does. Our minds operate on two levels, conscious and unconscious. The conscious mind is where we make deliberate decisions and are aware of our thoughts. The unconscious mind, however, works behind the scenes, influencing behavior without our awareness. Habits, instincts, and automatic responses are rooted in the unconscious. For example, driving a familiar route or reacting to danger happens without conscious thought. This dual system allows us to function efficiently, reserving conscious effort for complex tasks while relying on unconscious processes for routine actions. Memory is a core function of the mind, enabling us to learn from experience and plan for the future. Memories are formed through encoding, storage, and retrieval. Encoding involves transforming sensory input into a form the brain can use. Storage keeps information available for later use, and retrieval brings memories back into awareness. Factors like attention, emotion, and repetition strengthen memory formation. The hippocampus, a part of the limbic system, plays a crucial role in creating new memories. Understanding memory helps explain why we remember some things vividly and forget others. Emotions are powerful drivers of behavior. They arise from complex interactions between brain regions, hormones, and external events. The limbic system, especially the amygdala, is central to emotional processing. Emotions like fear, joy, and anger influence how we react to situations and make decisions. They can motivate us to act, help us connect with others, or even cloud our judgment. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and manage emotions, is key to healthy relationships and effective decision-making. By understanding emotions, we gain insight into why we behave the way we do. Motivation is what propels us to act. It stems from internal drives, such as hunger or curiosity, and external incentives, like rewards or recognition. The brain's reward system, involving dopamine pathways, plays a major role in motivation. When we achieve a goal or experience pleasure, dopamine is released, reinforcing the behavior. Motivation can be intrinsic, driven by personal satisfaction, or extrinsic, fueled by outside rewards. Understanding motivation helps explain why we pursue certain goals and how we overcome obstacles. Learning is a fundamental aspect of the human mind. It involves acquiring new knowledge, skills, or behaviors through experience, observation, or instruction. The brain adapts by forming new neural connections, a process called neuroplasticity. Learning can be explicit, such as studying for a test, or implicit, like picking up social cues. Factors like repetition, feedback, and motivation enhance learning. By understanding how we learn, we can improve education, training, and personal growth. Personality is the unique combination of traits, behaviors, and attitudes that define an individual. It develops through a mix of genetic, environmental, and social influences. Early childhood experiences, family dynamics, and cultural background all shape personality. Traits like openness, conscientiousness, and extroversion are partly inherited but can change over time. Understanding personality helps us appreciate individual differences and predict behavior in various situations. Humans are social creatures, and our behavior is shaped by interactions with others. Social influence includes conformity, obedience, and peer pressure. We often adjust our actions to fit group norms or follow authority figures. The desire to belong and be accepted drives much of our behavior. Social learning theory suggests we learn by observing others and imitating their actions. Understanding social influence helps explain why we sometimes act against our own preferences. Culture shapes our beliefs, values, and behaviors. It provides a framework for interpreting the world and guides how we interact with others. Cultural norms influence everything from communication styles to moral decisions. Exposure to different cultures can broaden perspectives and foster empathy. By understanding cultural impact, we can appreciate diversity and navigate social situations more effectively. Genes play a significant role in shaping behavior and mental processes. They influence traits like intelligence, temperament, and susceptibility to mental health conditions. However, genes interact with the environment, meaning that experiences can modify genetic expression. This interplay is known as epigenetics. Understanding genetic influences helps explain why some behaviors run in families and how nature and nurture work together. The environment we live in has a profound effect on our behavior. Factors like upbringing, education, socioeconomic status, and physical surroundings all contribute to shaping the mind. Positive environments can foster growth and resilience, while negative ones may lead to stress or maladaptive behaviors. By recognizing environmental influences, we can create conditions that support healthy development and well-being. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in thinking that affect decisions and judgments. Examples include confirmation bias, where we seek information that supports our beliefs, and availability bias, where recent events influence our perception. These biases help us process information quickly, but can lead to flawed reasoning. By becoming aware of cognitive biases, we can make more rational choices and avoid common pitfalls. Decision-making is a complex process involving weighing options, predicting outcomes, and managing risks. The prefrontal cortex plays a key role in rational decision-making, while emotions and biases can influence choices. Sometimes we rely on intuition or heuristics, mental shortcuts, to make quick decisions. Understanding how decisions are made helps us improve problem-solving and avoid impulsive actions. Stress is a natural response to challenging situations. It triggers the release of hormones like cortisol, preparing the body to react. Chronic stress can harm mental and physical health, while effective coping strategies help manage stress. Techniques like mindfulness, exercise, and social support are proven to reduce stress. Understanding stress and coping mechanisms is essential for maintaining well-being. Habits are automatic behaviors formed through repetition. The brain's basal ganglia is involved in creating and maintaining habits. Once established, habits require little conscious effort and can be hard to break. Understanding how habits form helps us build positive routines and change unwanted behaviors. Strategies like cue recognition and reward adjustment are effective for habit change. Self-concept is our perception of who we are. It includes beliefs, values, and self-esteem. Self-concept is shaped by experiences, feedback from others, and personal reflection. A positive self-concept leads to confidence and motivation, while a negative one can result in self-doubt. Understanding self-concept helps us build resilience and pursue meaningful goals. Consciousness is the state of being aware of thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. It allows us to reflect, plan, and make intentional choices. Theories of consciousness explore how awareness arises from brain activity. Some suggest it's a product of integrated information, while others focus on neural networks. Understanding consciousness is one of the greatest challenges in science and philosophy. Language shapes how we think and communicate. It enables us to express ideas, share knowledge, and connect with others. The relationship between language and thought is complex. Some theories suggest language influences thinking, while others argue thought can exist without language. Understanding this interplay helps explain how we solve problems and create meaning. Perception is how we interpret sensory information from the environment. The brain processes signals from sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, constructing a coherent picture of reality. Perception is influenced by attention, expectations, and past experiences. Sometimes, our perceptions can be distorted, leading to illusions or misunderstandings. Understanding perception helps us navigate the world more effectively. Attention is the ability to concentrate on specific stimuli while ignoring others. It's essential for learning, memory, and problem-solving. The brain's prefrontal cortex and parietal lobes manage attention. Factors like motivation, interest, and fatigue affect focus. By understanding attention, we can improve productivity and avoid distractions. Imagination allows us to envision possibilities beyond current reality. Creativity is the ability to generate new ideas and solutions. Both rely on flexible thinking and the integration of diverse experiences. The brain's default mode network is active during creative tasks. Encouraging imagination and creativity leads to innovation and personal fulfillment. Moral reasoning is how we decide what is right or wrong. It's influenced by upbringing, culture, and personal values. The brain's prefrontal cortex and limbic system are involved in moral judgments. Moral dilemmas often require balancing competing interests and considering consequences. Understanding moral reasoning helps us navigate ethical challenges. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Compassion goes a step further, motivating us to help. Both are essential for healthy relationships and social harmony. The brain's mirror neurons and limbic system play roles in empathy. By fostering empathy and compassion, we build stronger communities. Group dynamics refer to how people interact in groups. Roles, norms, and leadership shape group behavior. Groups can foster cooperation or create conflict. Social identity theory explains how belonging to a group influences self-concept and actions. Understanding group dynamics helps us work effectively in teams and resolve conflicts. Attachment theory explains how early relationships with caregivers shape emotional development. Secure attachment leads to confidence and healthy relationships, while insecure attachment can cause anxiety or avoidance. The quality of attachment influences how we relate to others throughout life. Understanding attachment helps us support emotional well-being. Mental health is crucial for overall well-being. It includes emotional, psychological, and social aspects. Factors like genetics, environment, and stress affect mental health. Common challenges include anxiety, depression, and trauma. Promoting mental health involves self-care, support, and professional help when needed. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's built through coping skills, social support, and positive thinking. Resilient people adapt to challenges and recover from setbacks. By fostering resilience, we can handle stress and thrive in difficult situations. Self-regulation is the ability to control impulses, emotions, and behaviors. It's essential for achieving goals and maintaining relationships. The prefrontal cortex helps manage self-regulation. Strategies like mindfulness and goal setting improve self-control. Understanding self-regulation helps us make better choices. Sleep is vital for mental and physical health. It restores energy, consolidates memories, and regulates mood. The brain cycles through different sleep stages, each with unique functions. Lack of sleep impairs attention, learning, and emotional stability. Prioritizing sleep supports cognitive and behavioral health. Nutrition affects the mind and behavior. A balanced diet supports brain function, mood, and energy levels. Nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals are essential for mental health. Poor nutrition can lead to cognitive decline and emotional instability. By choosing healthy foods, we support overall well-being. Physical activity boosts brain health and shapes behavior. Exercise increases blood flow, stimulates neurogenesis, and releases endorphins. It improves mood, attention, and memory. Regular exercise reduces stress and supports mental well-being. Incorporating movement into daily life benefits both mind and body. Technology shapes how we think, learn, and interact. Digital devices provide instant access to information, but can also distract and overload the mind. Social media influences self-concept and relationships. By understanding technology's impact, we can use it wisely and maintain mental balance. Media exposure affects beliefs, attitudes, and actions. News, entertainment, and advertising shape perceptions and influence choices. Media can inform, inspire, or manipulate. By critically evaluating media messages, we can make informed decisions and resist undue influence. Education shapes the mind by providing knowledge, skills, and values. It fosters critical thinking, creativity, and social development. Formal and informal education both contribute to personal growth. By valuing education, we empower individuals and communities. Work provides purpose and shapes motivation. Meaningful work boosts satisfaction and well-being. Factors like autonomy, achievement, and recognition influence motivation at work. Understanding what drives us helps create fulfilling careers and productive environments. Relationships shape behavior and emotional health. Positive connections provide support, belonging, and happiness. Conflict and isolation can harm well-being. Building strong relationships involves communication, empathy, and trust. By valuing relationships, we enhance quality of life. Life experiences shape the mind and behavior. Successes, failures, trauma, and joy all leave lasting impressions. Reflecting on experiences helps us learn and grow. By embracing challenges and celebrating achievements, we build wisdom and resilience. Spirituality provides a sense of meaning and purpose. It can shape values, guide behavior, and offer comfort in difficult times. Practices like meditation, prayer, and reflection foster spiritual growth. By exploring spirituality, we deepen self-understanding and find direction. Various theories explain how the mind works. Cognitive theory focuses on mental processes like thinking and memory. Behavioral theory emphasizes observable actions and learning. Psychoanalytic theory explores unconscious motives. Each theory offers unique insights into human behavior. The nature versus nurture debate explores whether genetics or environment shapes behavior. Both play important roles, and their interaction is complex. Modern research shows that genes and experiences work together to influence the mind. Understanding this interplay helps explain individual differences. The mind and body are deeply connected. Mental states affect physical health, and vice versa. Stress can cause illness, while positive emotions promote healing. Practices like mindfulness, exercise, and nutrition support the mind-body connection. By caring for both, we achieve holistic well-being. We've explored the many factors that shape the human mind and behavior. From brain structure and genetics to culture and life experiences, each element plays a role in who we are. By understanding these influences, we can make informed choices, build resilience, and foster meaningful relationships. Reflecting on the mind's complexity helps us appreciate the richness of human experience. As we move forward, the study of the human mind continues to evolve. Advances in neuroscience, psychology, and technology promise new insights into behavior and cognition. By staying curious and open-minded, we can continue to learn about ourselves and others, improving lives and society. The journey to understanding the mind is ongoing, and each discovery brings us closer to unlocking its mysteries. Welcome to our exploration of what makes people believe certain ideas and how those beliefs spread. Beliefs shape our actions, influence our decisions, and even impact society as a whole. But have you ever wondered why some ideas catch on while others fade away? In this video, we'll dive into the psychology behind belief formation and examine the mechanisms that drive the spread of ideas. We'll look at real-world examples, scientific research, and the role of social dynamics. By the end, you'll have a deeper understanding of why beliefs matter and how they move through communities and cultures. Beliefs are mental representations that we accept as true, whether or not they are actually factual. They can be about anything from the existence of aliens to the effectiveness of a new diet. Beliefs are not just abstract thoughts. They guide our behaviors and shape our worldview. Understanding what a belief is helps us see why people hold on to certain ideas so strongly. These mental constructs are influenced by our upbringing, experiences, and the information we receive from others. In this scene, we'll clarify the concept of belief and set the stage for understanding how beliefs are formed and spread. Beliefs often originate from our early experiences and the environment in which we grow up. Family, culture, and education play significant roles in shaping what we come to accept as true. For example, a child raised in a religious household may develop strong spiritual beliefs, while another raised in a scientific environment may value empirical evidence. These foundational influences create a framework for how we interpret new information. As we encounter different ideas throughout life, our existing beliefs filter what we accept or reject. This scene explores the roots of belief and how our backgrounds set the stage for future ideas. The process of forming beliefs is deeply rooted in psychology. Cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias, play a major role. We tend to seek out information that supports what we already believe and ignore evidence that contradicts it. Emotions also influence belief formation. Ideas that evoke strong feelings are more likely to be accepted and remembered. Social proof, or seeing others believe something, can reinforce our own beliefs. Understanding these psychological mechanisms helps explain why beliefs can be so persistent and resistant to change, even in the face of contradictory evidence. Social influence is a powerful force in shaping beliefs. We are constantly affected by the opinions and behaviors of those around us. Peer pressure, authority figures, and group dynamics can all sway what we believe. For instance, if a majority of people in a group accept an idea, individuals are more likely to adopt it to fit in. This phenomenon is known as conformity. Social networks, both offline and online, amplify these effects, making it easier for beliefs to spread rapidly. In this scene, we'll examine how social influence drives the adoption and dissemination of ideas. Media plays a crucial role in spreading beliefs. Television, newspapers, and especially social media platforms can rapidly disseminate ideas to large audiences. The way information is presented through headlines, visuals, and repetition can make certain beliefs more appealing or credible. Viral content, trending topics, and influencers further accelerate the spread. Media can also create echo chambers. where people are exposed only to ideas that reinforce their existing beliefs. This scene explores how media shapes public opinion and facilitates the rapid spread of beliefs across society. Ideas that evoke strong emotions are more likely to be believed and shared. Emotional stories, powerful imagery, and persuasive language can make beliefs stick. Fear, hope, anger, and joy are commonly used to drive engagement and convince people. When an idea resonates emotionally, it bypasses rational analysis and becomes deeply ingrained. Marketers, politicians, and activists often use emotional appeal to spread their messages. This scene highlights the importance of emotion in belief formation and why emotionally charged ideas tend to go viral. Confirmation bias is the tendency to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring or dismissing contradictory evidence. This bias makes it difficult for people to change their minds, even when presented with facts. It can lead to polarized opinions and reinforce misinformation. Understanding confirmation bias is key to recognizing why beliefs persist and how they can become entrenched in society. In this scene, we'll break down the concept and show how it affects the spread of ideas. Echo chambers and filter bubbles occur when people are exposed only to information and opinions that align with their existing beliefs. Social media algorithms often reinforce this by showing users content similar to what they've already engaged with. This isolation from opposing viewpoints can intensify beliefs and create divisions within society. Echo chambers make it harder for new ideas to break through and can lead to misinformation spreading unchecked. This scene explores how digital environments contribute to the formation and maintenance of echo chambers. Authority figures, such as leaders, experts, and celebrities, have a significant impact on what people believe. Their opinions are often seen as credible and trustworthy, making it easier for their ideas to spread. People tend to follow the guidance of those they respect or admire, sometimes without critically evaluating the information. This scene examines how authority figures shape beliefs and why their endorsement can make an idea more widely accepted. Group dynamics play a crucial role in belief formation and spread. When people are part of a group, they often conform to the group's norms and opinions to maintain harmony and avoid conflict. This conformity can lead to the adoption of beliefs that individuals might not accept on their own. Groupthink, a phenomenon where dissent is suppressed, can further reinforce shared ideas. This scene explores how group dynamics influence beliefs and the importance of social cohesion in spreading ideas. Persuasion is the art of convincing others to adopt a belief or idea. Techniques such as storytelling, repetition, and appealing to authority are commonly used. Logical arguments, emotional appeals, and social proof can all be effective in changing minds. Understanding these techniques helps us recognize how beliefs are intentionally spread and why some messages are more persuasive than others. This scene breaks down the most effective persuasion strategies and their impact on belief formation. Repetition is a powerful tool in spreading beliefs. When an idea is repeated often enough, it becomes familiar and is more likely to be accepted. This is known as the mere exposure effect. Advertisers, politicians, and media outlets use repetition to reinforce messages and make them stick. Over time, repeated ideas can become ingrained in public consciousness, even if they are not entirely accurate. This scene explores how repetition shapes beliefs and why it is so effective in spreading ideas. Humans are naturally drawn to stories. Narratives make ideas relatable and memorable, helping beliefs spread more effectively. A compelling story can illustrate complex concepts, evoke emotions, and inspire action. Storytelling is used in marketing, politics, and education to persuade and inform. This scene highlights the power of narrative in shaping beliefs and why stories are such an effective vehicle for spreading ideas. Beliefs are often passed down through generations via cultural transmission. Traditions, rituals, and shared values help maintain and spread ideas within communities. Cultural transmission ensures that certain beliefs persist over time, even as societies change. This scene examines how culture acts as a vehicle for belief propagation and the role of shared practices in reinforcing ideas. Memes are units of cultural information that spread rapidly from person to person. They can be images, phrases, or behaviors that encapsulate beliefs and ideas. Memes often go viral because they are easy to share and resonate with large audiences. This scene explores how memes contribute to the spread of beliefs and why some ideas become viral sensations. Technology has revolutionized the way beliefs spread. The internet, smartphones, and social media platforms enable instant communication and global reach. Ideas can now move across borders and cultures at unprecedented speeds. Technology also allows for targeted messaging, making it easier to influence specific groups. This scene discusses the impact of technology on belief propagation and how digital tools shape public opinion. Social networks, both online and offline, are key channels for spreading beliefs. Connections between individuals facilitate the rapid exchange of ideas. Influencers and opinion leaders within networks can accelerate the adoption of beliefs. This scene examines how social networks function as conduits for belief transmission and the role of network structure in determining how quickly ideas spread. Trust is essential for belief adoption. People are more likely to accept ideas from sources they perceive as credible and reliable. Building trust involves transparency, consistency, and authenticity. When trust is established, beliefs can spread more easily and persist longer. This scene explores the importance of trust in belief formation and how credibility influences the spread of ideas. People often resist changing their beliefs, even when faced with new evidence. This resistance can stem from cognitive dissonance, fear of uncertainty, or social pressure. Changing beliefs requires overcoming psychological barriers and sometimes confronting deeply held values. This scene discusses why beliefs are resistant to change and what factors can help facilitate belief revision. Belief revision is the process of updating or changing beliefs in response to new information. This can be gradual or sudden, depending on the strength of the evidence and the openness of the individual. Factors such as critical thinking, exposure to diverse viewpoints, and willingness to question assumptions are important for belief revision. This scene outlines the steps involved in changing beliefs and the challenges that come with it. Education plays a vital role in shaping and spreading beliefs. Schools, universities, and other learning environments provide information and encourage critical thinking. Education can challenge existing beliefs and introduce new ideas. It also helps individuals develop the skills needed to evaluate information and make informed decisions. This scene explores how education influences belief, formation, and the spread of ideas. Scientific evidence is a powerful tool for shaping beliefs. Research, experiments, and data provide objective information that can challenge or support ideas. However, not everyone accepts scientific evidence, especially when it conflicts with deeply held beliefs. This scene discusses the role of science in belief formation and the challenges of communicating scientific information to the public. Communities are fertile ground for the spread of beliefs. Shared values, traditions, and frequent interactions make it easier for ideas to move from person to person. Community leaders and influencers can accelerate the process. This scene examines how beliefs spread within communities and the factors that make certain ideas more likely to be adopted. Ideas and beliefs can now spread globally thanks to technology and interconnected societies. Cultural exchange, international media, and global networks make it possible for beliefs to move across borders. This scene explores the mechanisms behind the global spread of ideas and the impact of globalization on belief formation. Health beliefs, such as attitudes toward vaccines or diets, illustrate how ideas spread and become entrenched. Misinformation, social influence, and media coverage all play roles in shaping health beliefs. This scene presents a case study on health beliefs, showing how they are formed, spread, and sometimes challenged by scientific evidence. Political beliefs are shaped by ideology, media, and social networks. Campaigns, debates, and news coverage influence what people believe about policies and leaders. This scene examines a case study of political belief formation and spread, highlighting the role of persuasion and social dynamics. Cultural beliefs, such as traditions and rituals, are passed down through generations and reinforced by community practices. This scene presents a case study on cultural beliefs, showing how they persist and adapt over time. The role of storytelling, rituals, and shared values is emphasized. Social movements rely on the spread of beliefs to mobilize, support, and drive change. Activists use media, storytelling, and persuasion to rally people around a cause. This scene examines a case study of a social movement, highlighting the strategies used to spread beliefs and inspire action. Communicating scientific ideas to the public is challenging, especially when beliefs conflict with evidence. Scientists use clear language, visuals, and outreach to spread accurate information. This scene presents a case study on science communication, showing how beliefs are shaped by evidence and the importance of effective messaging. Marketing relies on spreading beliefs about products and brands. Advertisers use repetition, emotional appeal, and social proof to convince consumers. This scene presents a case study on marketing, illustrating how beliefs about products are formed and spread. Religious beliefs are often deeply ingrained and spread through rituals, teachings, and community practices. This scene presents a case study on religious belief formation and spread, highlighting the role of tradition, authority, and social influence. Environmental beliefs, such as attitudes toward climate change, are shaped by science, media, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on environmental belief formation and spread, emphasizing the role of evidence, advocacy, and public opinion. Economic beliefs, such as attitudes toward markets or policies, are influenced by media, education, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on economic belief, formation, and spread, showing how ideas about money and markets move through society. Fashion beliefs, such as trends and styles, are spread through media, influencers, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on fashion belief formation and spread, highlighting the role of marketing, celebrity endorsement, and peer influence. Beliefs about technology, such as trust in new devices or platforms, are shaped by media, reviews, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on technology, belief formation, and spread, focusing on the role of innovation, expert opinion, and user experience. Food beliefs, such as dietary preferences and health claims, are influenced by culture, media, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on food belief formation and spread, highlighting the role of tradition, marketing, and peer influence. Sports beliefs, such as team loyalty and superstitions, are spread through media, community, and tradition. This scene presents a case study on sports, belief formation, and spread, emphasizing the role of storytelling, rituals, and social influence. Artistic beliefs, such as preferences for styles or artists, are shaped by culture, media, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on artistic belief formation and spread, focusing on the role of tradition, innovation, and peer influence. Lifestyle beliefs, such as attitudes toward work, leisure, or health, are influenced by media, culture, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on lifestyle, belief, formation, and spread, highlighting the role of marketing, tradition, and peer influence. Beliefs about social issues, such as equality or justice, are shaped by media, activism, and community. This scene presents a case study on social issue, belief formation, and spread, emphasizing the role of advocacy, storytelling, and peer influence. Travel beliefs, such as attitudes toward destinations or experiences, are influenced by media, culture, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on travel belief formation and spread, focusing on the role of marketing, tradition, and peer influence. Adopting new technology often involves belief formation about its usefulness and safety. This scene presents a case study on technology adoption, highlighting the role of innovation, expert opinion, and social influence in spreading beliefs about new devices or platforms. Financial beliefs, such as attitudes towards saving or investing, are shaped by media, education, and social networks. This scene presents a case study on financial belief, formation, and spread, focusing on the role of information, tradition, and peer influence. Throughout this video, we've explored what makes people believe certain ideas and how those beliefs spread. From psychological mechanisms and social influence to media and technology, many factors shape our beliefs and determine how they move through society. Understanding these processes helps us become more aware of the ideas we accept and share. As you reflect on your own beliefs, consider the influences that have shaped them and how you can approach new ideas with an open mind. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of beliefs and their powerful impact. Welcome to our exploration of how humans make decisions. Every day, we face countless choices, from simple ones like what to eat for breakfast to complex ones involving career moves or relationships. But what drives these decisions? Is it our emotions, logical reasoning, or something deeper like instinct? In this video, we'll break down the fascinating interplay between emotion, logic, and instinct, and see how each contributes to our decision-making process. We'll start by understanding the basics, then dive into real-life examples, and finally discuss how you can harness these forces to make better choices. Human decision-making is shaped by three main pillars: emotion, logic, and instinct. Each plays a unique role, sometimes working together and other times in conflict. Emotion can push us toward choices that feel right. Logic helps us weigh pros and cons, and instinct offers quick gut reactions. Understanding these pillars is crucial because they influence everything from daily habits to life-changing decisions. As we move forward, we'll examine each pillar in detail, starting with emotion, then logic, and finally instinct, to see how they interact and shape our choices. Emotions are powerful drivers in decision-making. They can make us act quickly, sometimes before we even realize it. For example, fear might cause us to avoid a risky situation, while excitement could push us to try something new. Emotions often color our perceptions, making certain options seem more appealing or threatening. They are rooted in our experiences and memories, shaping how we respond to similar situations in the future. While emotions can lead to impulsive choices, they also help us connect with others and understand what truly matters to us. Logic is the process of reasoning through facts and evidence. When we use logic, we analyze information, compare options, and predict outcomes. Logical thinking is essential for making decisions that require careful consideration, such as financial planning or problem solving. It helps us avoid mistakes caused by emotional bias and ensures our choices are based on objective criteria. However, logic can sometimes be overridden by strong emotions or instincts, especially in high-pressure situations. Balancing logic with emotion and instinct is key to making well-rounded decisions. Instinct is our natural, automatic response to situations. It's often described as a gut feeling or intuition. Instincts are shaped by evolution and past experiences, helping us react quickly to threats or opportunities. For example, you might instinctively step back from a moving car or feel uneasy in a dangerous environment. While instinct can be life-saving, it's not always accurate, especially in modern contexts where our instincts may not match the situation. Recognizing when to trust instinct and when to rely on logic or emotion is a valuable skill. Sometimes, emotion and logic are at odds. Imagine deciding whether to buy a new car. Emotion might make you fall in love with a flashy model, while logic urges you to consider fuel efficiency and cost. This internal conflict is common, and resolving it requires awareness of both sides. By acknowledging your emotional desires and logical reasoning, you can make a balanced decision. It's important to recognize when one is overpowering the other, and to pause, reflect, and weigh both perspectives before acting. Instinct and reason can also clash. For instance, your instinct might tell you to avoid a risky investment, while logic suggests it could be profitable. In these moments, it's crucial to assess whether your instinct is based on valid experience or outdated fears. Reasoning through the facts can help clarify the situation, but don't ignore your gut entirely. Sometimes, instinct picks up on subtle cues that logic misses. The best decisions often come from integrating both approaches. Experience shapes how we use emotion, logic, and instinct. Past successes and failures inform our gut feelings, emotional responses, and logical reasoning. For example, someone who's been burned by a bad investment may instinctively avoid similar risks, even if logic suggests otherwise. Experience also helps us recognize patterns, making it easier to predict outcomes and make confident decisions. By reflecting on past choices, we can learn to trust our instincts, refine our logic, and manage our emotions more effectively. Our decisions are often influenced by those around us. Social norms, peer pressure, and cultural expectations can sway our choices, sometimes overriding logic or instinct. For example, you might choose a career path because it's respected in your community, even if your instincts or emotions point elsewhere. Understanding the impact of social influence helps us recognize when we're making decisions for ourselves versus others. It's important to balance social input with personal values and logical reasoning. Different parts of the brain are responsible for emotion, logic, and instinct. The limbic system processes emotions, the prefrontal cortex handles logical reasoning, and the brainstem manages instinctive reactions. These centers communicate constantly, shaping our responses to situations. Neuroscience shows that decision-making is not isolated to one area, but is a collaborative process. Understanding how the brain works can help us appreciate why decisions sometimes feel conflicted and how we can train ourselves to make better choices. Emotions play a big role in daily decisions. From choosing what to wear to deciding what to eat, our feelings often guide us. For example, you might pick a comfort food when feeling stressed, or wear bright colors when happy. These choices may seem trivial, but they reflect how emotion shapes our preferences and behaviors. By becoming aware of emotional influences, we can make choices that align better with our goals and values. When faced with complex decisions, logic becomes crucial. Whether it's planning a budget, choosing a college, or solving a problem at work, logical reasoning helps us break down options and evaluate outcomes. By listing pros and cons, gathering information, and considering consequences, we can make informed choices. Logical thinking is especially important when emotions run high, as it provides a stable foundation for decision-making. Instinct is most evident in survival situations. When faced with danger, our bodies react automatically, heart rate increases, muscles tense, and we prepare to fight or flee. These responses are hardwired and have evolved to protect us. Instinct also guides us in less dramatic ways, like sensing when something is wrong or feeling drawn to safe environments. While instinct is powerful, it's important to check if it's appropriate for the situation, especially in modern life. The best decisions often come from balancing emotion, logic, and instinct. For example, Choosing a job might involve emotional excitement, logical analysis of salary and benefits, and instinctive sense of fit. By considering all three, we can make choices that are both satisfying and practical. It's helpful to pause and ask yourself which pillar is influencing your decision most and whether you need to bring in another perspective. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and manage your emotions and those of others. It's a crucial skill for making decisions, especially in social or stressful situations. High emotional intelligence helps you stay calm, understand different viewpoints, and avoid impulsive actions. It also improves relationships and teamwork. Developing emotional intelligence involves self-awareness, empathy, and practice. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information objectively and make reasoned judgments. It's essential for logical decision-making. Critical thinkers question assumptions, seek evidence, and consider alternatives. This skill helps avoid errors caused by emotional bias or faulty instinct. Practicing critical thinking involves asking questions, reflecting on outcomes, and learning from mistakes. Intuitive decision-making relies on instinct and gut feelings. It's fast and often effective, especially when you have experience in a situation. For example, a seasoned firefighter might instinctively know how to respond to a crisis. Intuition is built from repeated exposure and learning. While it can be powerful, it's important to check if your intuition is accurate and not based on outdated beliefs. Decision-making usually follows a process: recognizing a problem, gathering information, evaluating options, making a choice, and reflecting on the outcome. Each step can be influenced by emotion, logic, or instinct. For example, emotions may highlight the importance of a problem, logic helps evaluate options, and instinct can guide quick choices. By following a structured process, you can ensure all pillars are considered. Bias is a tendency to favor certain options or viewpoints, often unconsciously. Emotional bias can make us ignore facts, while logical bias may overlook feelings. Instinctive bias can cause us to react based on stereotypes or past experiences. Recognizing bias is the first step to overcoming it. By questioning your assumptions and seeking diverse perspectives, you can make more balanced decisions. To overcome emotional bias, it's important to pause and reflect before making a decision. Ask yourself if your feelings are clouding your judgment. Consider seeking advice from others or writing down your thoughts. By separating emotion from facts, you can make choices that are more objective and aligned with your goals. Logical bias can occur when we rely too heavily on data and ignore emotional or instinctive cues. To manage logical bias, try to include feelings and intuition in your analysis. Ask yourself how you feel about each option and whether your gut is telling you something important. Balancing logic with emotion and instinct leads to more holistic decisions. Instinctive bias is shaped by past experiences and can lead to snap judgments. For example, you might avoid someone based on a gut feeling, even if there's no evidence. To manage instinctive bias, reflect on whether your reaction is justified and seek additional information. By challenging your instincts, you can avoid unfair or inaccurate decisions. Decision fatigue occurs when we make too many choices in a short period, leading to decreased quality and impulsivity. Emotion, logic, and instinct can all be affected. To combat decision fatigue, prioritize important decisions, simplify options, and take breaks. By managing your energy and focus, you can make better choices throughout the day. Stress can overwhelm emotion, logic, and instinct, leading to poor decisions. When stressed, emotions may dominate, logic becomes harder to access, and instincts can be exaggerated. To make better decisions under stress, practice relaxation techniques, seek support, and give yourself time to think. Managing stress helps restore balance among the three pillars. Pausing before making a decision allows you to check in with emotion, logic, and instinct. Taking a moment to breathe and reflect can prevent impulsive actions and help you consider all perspectives. This simple habit can improve the quality of your choices and reduce regret. Group decisions involve multiple emotions, logics, and instincts. Each member brings their own perspective, which can lead to richer outcomes or conflict. Effective group decision-making requires communication, empathy, and compromise. By listening to others and balancing different viewpoints, groups can make choices that benefit everyone. Technology influences our decisions by providing information, automating choices, and connecting us with others. Algorithms can help us make logical decisions, but they may not account for emotion or instinct. It's important to use technology as a tool, not a replacement for human judgment. By combining tech with personal insight, we can make smarter choices. Ethical decisions require balancing emotion, logic, and instinct with moral values. Logic helps clarify consequences, emotion connects us to others, and instinct may guide us toward fairness. When faced with ethical dilemmas, reflect on your values, seek advice, and consider the impact on all involved. Ethical decision-making builds trust and integrity. Every decision is an opportunity to learn. By reflecting on outcomes, you can see how emotion, logic, and instinct played a role. Ask yourself what worked, what didn't, and how you can improve next time. Learning from both successes and failures helps refine your decision-making skills. People have different decision-making styles. Some rely more on emotion, others on logic or instinct. Understanding your style can help you recognize strengths and weaknesses. For example, emotional decision-makers may be empathetic but impulsive, while logical thinkers are thorough but may overlook feelings. By adapting your style to the situation, you can make better choices. Values are the principles that guide our decisions. They influence emotion, logic, and instinct, helping us choose what's right for us. For example, honesty may lead you to make difficult but truthful choices. By clarifying your values, you can make decisions that are consistent and fulfilling. Many decisions are made out of habit, often without conscious thought. Habits are shaped by repeated actions and can be influenced by emotion, logic, or instinct. For example, you might instinctively check your phone when bored or logically plan your morning routine. Understanding your habits can help you change those that don't serve you and reinforce positive ones. Risk assessment is a key part of decision-making. Emotion may make risks seem scarier, logic helps evaluate probabilities, and instinct can trigger caution. By balancing these perspectives, you can make informed choices about taking risks. It's important to understand your risk tolerance and adjust your decisions accordingly. Confidence comes from trusting your ability to make good decisions. It's built through experience, reflection, and learning. Emotion, logic, and instinct all contribute to confidence. For example, positive emotions boost self-assurance. Logical analysis provides clarity, and instinct offers quick reassurance. Building confidence helps you act decisively and handle uncertainty. Regret is a natural response to decisions that don't turn out as hoped. Emotion may cause disappointment. Logic helps analyze what went wrong, and instinct can guide future choices. By accepting regret as part of learning, you can move forward and make better decisions next time. Uncertainty makes decision-making challenging. Emotion may cause anxiety, logic struggles with incomplete information, and instinct can push for quick action. To navigate uncertainty, gather as much information as possible, stay calm, and trust your process. Accepting that not all decisions will be perfect helps reduce stress. Every decision is a chance to grow. By reflecting on how emotion, logic, and instinct influenced your choices, you can learn more about yourself and improve over time. Growth comes from trying new approaches, learning from mistakes, and celebrating successes. Embrace the process and use each decision as a stepping stone. Relationships require constant decision-making, from resolving conflicts to planning together. Emotion helps connect, logic clarifies needs, and instinct guides responses. By communicating openly and considering all pillars, you can build stronger, healthier relationships. Leaders make decisions that affect others. Emotion helps inspire and motivate, logic ensures fairness and effectiveness, and instinct can guide quick responses. Great leaders balance all three pillars, listen to feedback, and adapt to changing circumstances. Leadership is about making choices that benefit the group and align with values. Crisis situations demand fast decisions. Emotion may run high, logic is needed for clear thinking, and instinct can trigger immediate action. To make effective decisions in crisis, stay calm, gather information quickly, and trust your training. Balancing the three pillars helps you respond effectively and minimize harm. Creative decisions often rely on emotion and instinct. Logic can help refine ideas, but inspiration usually comes from feelings and gut reactions. By embracing emotion and intuition, you can unlock new possibilities. Use logic to test and improve your creative choices. Health decisions involve emotion, logic, and instinct. Emotion may drive lifestyle changes, logic helps evaluate treatments, and instinct can signal when something is wrong. By considering all pillars, you can make choices that support your well-being and long-term health. Financial decisions require careful logic, but emotion and instinct also play a role. Logic helps analyze investments. Emotion can drive spending or saving, and instinct may warn of risky choices. By balancing these influences, you can make sound financial decisions and achieve your goals. Educational decisions, like choosing a school or course, involve emotion, logic, and instinct. Emotion may reflect passion for a subject, logic helps compare options, and instinct can signal the right fit. By considering all pillars, you can make choices that support your learning and growth. In summary, Human decision-making is a complex interplay of emotion, logic, and instinct. Each pillar offers unique strengths and challenges. By understanding and balancing these forces, you can make choices that are thoughtful, effective, and aligned with your values. Remember to pause, reflect, and learn from each decision. With practice, you'll become more confident and skilled in navigating life's choices. Happiness is a concept that has fascinated philosophers, psychologists, and everyday people for centuries. But what does it truly mean? Is it a fleeting feeling, a state of mind, or something deeper? In this opening scene, we explore the basic definition of happiness and how it differs from simple pleasure or satisfaction. Happiness is often described as a sense of well-being, contentment, and fulfillment. It's not just about feeling good in the moment, but about experiencing a lasting sense of purpose and meaning. As we begin our journey, let's consider how happiness is more than just a mood. It's a fundamental aspect of human life. Throughout history, philosophers have debated the nature of happiness. Ancient thinkers like Aristotle believed happiness was the ultimate goal of life, achieved through virtue and self-realization. Others, like Epicurus, saw happiness as the pursuit of pleasure and avoidance of pain. Modern philosophers continue to discuss whether happiness is subjective or objective and whether it can be measured or defined universally. These philosophical perspectives shape how we understand happiness today and influence the ways people search for it in their own lives. Psychologists have studied happiness extensively, seeking to understand what makes people truly happy. Research shows that happiness is influenced by genetics, environment, and personal choices. Positive psychology, a field pioneered by Martin Seligman, focuses on strengths, gratitude, and positive emotions. Studies reveal that happiness is not just about external circumstances, but also about how we interpret and respond to life's events. Psychological insights help us realize that happiness can be cultivated through intentional practices and mindset shifts. It's important to distinguish between happiness and pleasure. While pleasure is a temporary feeling, often linked to physical or sensory experiences, happiness is more enduring. Pleasure can come from eating a delicious meal or enjoying a fun activity, but happiness involves a deeper sense of satisfaction and meaning. Understanding this difference helps us avoid chasing short-term pleasures at the expense of long-term happiness. Many people confuse the two, but recognizing their distinction is key to finding true joy. Meaning plays a crucial role in happiness. People who find purpose in their lives tend to experience greater well-being and satisfaction. Whether it's through work, relationships, or personal growth, meaning gives life direction and significance. Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist, emphasized that meaning is essential for happiness, especially in difficult times. When we connect our actions to something larger than ourselves, we feel more fulfilled and resilient. Humans are social creatures, and our relationships greatly influence our happiness. Studies show that strong social connections lead to higher levels of well-being and life satisfaction. Whether it's family, friends, or community, meaningful relationships provide support, love, and a sense of belonging. Loneliness, on the other hand, can diminish happiness and even impact physical health. Investing in social bonds is one of the most effective ways to enhance happiness. Gratitude is a powerful tool for increasing happiness. Practicing gratitude helps us focus on what we have rather than what we lack. Simple acts like keeping a gratitude journal or expressing thanks to others can shift our perspective and boost positive emotions. Research shows that grateful people are happier, healthier, and more resilient. By making gratitude a daily habit, we can cultivate a deeper sense of joy and appreciation. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. It helps us appreciate life as it unfolds, rather than worrying about the past or future. Mindfulness techniques, such as meditation and deep breathing, have been shown to reduce stress and increase happiness. By focusing on the present, we can enjoy life's simple pleasures and develop a greater sense of peace and contentment. Personal growth is another key factor in happiness. When we challenge ourselves, learn new skills, and pursue goals, we experience a sense of accomplishment and progress. Growth can come from education, hobbies, or overcoming obstacles. It's not about perfection, but about striving to be better and embracing change. Personal growth gives us confidence and motivation, leading to greater happiness. Physical health and happiness are closely linked. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep contribute to both mental and emotional well-being. When we take care of our bodies, we feel more energetic and positive. Physical activity releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters. Maintaining good health is a foundation for happiness, allowing us to enjoy life to the fullest. Financial security is often associated with happiness, but it's not the only factor. While money can reduce stress and provide comfort, it doesn't guarantee lasting happiness. Studies show that after basic needs are met, Additional wealth has diminishing returns on happiness. It's more about how we use our resources and whether we feel secure and free from financial worry. Financial stability can support happiness, but it's not the sole ingredient. Work can be a source of happiness when it aligns with our values and provides a sense of purpose. People who find meaning in their jobs tend to be more satisfied and motivated. It's not just about earning a paycheck, but about contributing to something meaningful. Whether it's through creative expression, helping others, or achieving goals, purposeful work enhances happiness and fulfillment. Happiness is experienced differently across cultures. Some societies value individual achievement, while others emphasize community and harmony. Cultural norms shape how people define and pursue happiness. For example, Western cultures often focus on personal fulfillment, while Eastern cultures may prioritize social harmony and collective well-being. Understanding these differences helps us appreciate the diverse ways people search for happiness around the world. The pursuit of happiness is a universal human endeavor. People search for happiness in different ways through relationships, achievements, experiences, and self-discovery. Sometimes, the chase itself can lead to frustration if we set unrealistic expectations. It's important to recognize that happiness is not a destination, but a journey. By focusing on the process rather than the outcome, we can find joy in everyday moments. Many factors can hinder happiness, such as stress, negative thinking, and unresolved conflicts. External circumstances, like financial hardship or health issues, also play a role. Recognizing these barriers is the first step toward overcoming them. By addressing challenges and seeking support, we can move closer to happiness. It's important to remember that everyone faces obstacles, but resilience and adaptability help us navigate them. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and adapt to change. People who are resilient tend to experience greater happiness, even in difficult times. Adaptation involves adjusting our expectations and finding new ways to cope. Building resilience can be achieved through social support, positive thinking, and learning from setbacks. These skills help us maintain happiness despite life's ups and downs. The hedonic treadmill is a psychological concept that explains why people quickly return to a baseline level of happiness after positive or negative events. No matter how much we achieve or acquire, our happiness tends to stabilize over time. This phenomenon suggests that lasting happiness comes from internal factors, not external circumstances. Understanding the hedonic treadmill helps us focus on sustainable sources of joy. Intentional activities are actions we choose to increase our happiness. These include practicing gratitude, engaging in hobbies, volunteering, and nurturing relationships. Research shows that intentional activities have a greater impact on happiness than passive experiences. By making conscious choices and investing in positive behaviors, we can enhance our well-being and create lasting joy. Expectations play a significant role in happiness. When our expectations are too high, we may feel disappointed or dissatisfied. Setting realistic goals and appreciating progress can help us maintain a positive outlook. It's important to balance ambition with acceptance, recognizing that happiness often comes from appreciating what we have rather than constantly striving for more. Comparing ourselves to others can undermine happiness. Social media and societal pressures often lead us to measure our worth against others' achievements. This comparison trap creates feelings of envy and inadequacy. Instead, focusing on personal growth and self-acceptance helps us find genuine happiness. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, and true joy comes from within. Self-compassion is the practice of being kind to ourselves, especially during difficult times. It involves recognizing our imperfections and treating ourselves with understanding rather than harsh criticism. Research shows that self-compassion leads to greater happiness, resilience, and emotional well-being. By embracing self-compassion, we can navigate challenges with grace and maintain a positive outlook. Helping others and practicing altruism can significantly boost happiness. Acts of kindness, volunteering, and generosity create positive emotions and strengthen social bonds. Studies show that giving is linked to greater well-being and life satisfaction. By focusing on others and contributing to the community, we experience a sense of purpose and joy. Spending time in nature has a positive impact on happiness. Natural environments reduce stress, improve mood, and foster a sense of peace. Activities like walking in the park, hiking, or gardening help us connect with the world around us. Nature provides a break from daily routines and offers opportunities for reflection and relaxation. Creative activities such as art, music, and writing contribute to happiness by allowing us to express ourselves and explore new ideas. Creativity fosters a sense of accomplishment and provides an outlet for emotions. Engaging in creative pursuits can be therapeutic and enhance our overall well-being. Spirituality and faith can provide a sense of meaning and comfort, contributing to happiness. Many people find joy in spiritual practices, rituals, and beliefs. Spirituality offers a framework for understanding life's challenges and connecting with something greater than ourselves. It can foster hope, gratitude, and inner peace. Life satisfaction is a broader measure of happiness, reflecting how content we are with our lives as a whole. It includes factors like relationships, achievements, health, and purpose. People with high life satisfaction tend to experience more positive emotions and less stress. Assessing life satisfaction helps us identify areas for improvement and set meaningful goals. Flow is a state of deep engagement and enjoyment in an activity. When we are fully absorbed in what we're doing, time seems to fly by and we experience a sense of fulfillment. Flow occurs during challenging but rewarding tasks, such as playing music, sports, or solving problems. Achieving flow enhances happiness and provides a sense of mastery. Positive emotions, such as joy, gratitude, and love, are central to happiness. Experiencing and savoring these emotions enhances our well-being and strengthens relationships. Positive emotions also help us cope with challenges and build resilience. By focusing on the good in our lives, we can cultivate more happiness. Negative emotions, such as sadness, anger, and fear, are a natural part of life. They can provide valuable information and motivate us to make changes. However, dwelling on negative emotions can hinder happiness. It's important to acknowledge and process these feelings, but also to focus on positive experiences and solutions. Acceptance is the ability to embrace life as it is, including its imperfections and challenges. Accepting ourselves and our circumstances helps reduce stress and increase happiness. It doesn't mean giving up, but rather recognizing what we can and cannot control. Acceptance fosters peace and resilience, allowing us to move forward with confidence. Forgiveness is a powerful practice that can free us from resentment and pain. Letting go of grudges and forgiving others, as well as ourselves, leads to greater happiness and emotional well-being. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions, but rather releasing negative emotions and moving toward healing. Optimism is the tendency to expect positive outcomes and focus on possibilities. Optimistic people are more likely to experience happiness and cope with challenges effectively. Cultivating optimism involves reframing negative thoughts and looking for opportunities in adversity. Optimism helps us maintain hope and motivation. Humor and laughter are essential for happiness. They help us cope with stress, build connections, and enjoy life. Sharing jokes and finding humor in everyday situations can lighten our mood and foster positive relationships. Laughter releases endorphins and promotes well-being, making it a valuable tool for happiness. Managing our time effectively can increase happiness by reducing stress and allowing us to focus on meaningful activities. Prioritizing tasks, setting boundaries, and making time for relaxation are important strategies. Good time management helps us achieve balance and enjoy life's moments. Setting and pursuing goals gives life direction and purpose, contributing to happiness. Goals provide motivation and a sense of accomplishment. It's important to set realistic and meaningful goals, celebrate progress, and adjust plans as needed. Goal setting helps us stay focused and find joy in achievement. Curiosity and lifelong learning are linked to happiness. Exploring new ideas, acquiring knowledge, and staying curious keep life interesting and engaging. Learning helps us grow, adapt, and find meaning in everyday experiences. Embracing curiosity leads to greater fulfillment and joy. Celebrating achievements, big or small, enhances happiness. Recognizing milestones and sharing success with others creates positive emotions and strengthens relationships. It's important to acknowledge progress and enjoy the journey, not just the outcome. Celebration fosters gratitude and motivation. Facing and overcoming challenges builds resilience and contributes to happiness. Difficult experiences teach us valuable lessons and help us grow stronger. By embracing challenges and learning from setbacks, we develop confidence and a sense of accomplishment. Overcoming adversity is a key part of the happiness journey. Daily habits play a significant role in happiness. Simple routines, such as exercising, practicing gratitude, and connecting with loved ones, can boost mood and well-being. Consistency in positive habits creates a foundation for lasting happiness. By making small changes, we can improve our quality of life. Happiness can increase with age as people gain perspective, wisdom, and acceptance. Older adults often report higher life satisfaction and emotional stability. Aging brings opportunities for reflection, gratitude, and deeper relationships. Embracing the aging process helps us find joy in every stage of life. Technology influences happiness in both positive and negative ways. Digital tools can connect us, provide entertainment, and support learning. However, excessive screen time and social media use can lead to isolation and comparison. It's important to use technology mindfully and prioritize real-life connections for lasting happiness. Scientific research on happiness provides valuable insights into what makes people happy. Studies use surveys, experiments, and brain imaging to measure well-being and identify factors that contribute to happiness. Research helps us understand the importance of relationships, gratitude, and positive emotions, guiding us toward evidence-based practices for joy. In summary, happiness is a multifaceted concept influenced by meaning, relationships, gratitude, resilience, and many other factors. It's not a single emotion or achievement, but a combination of experiences and attitudes. By understanding what happiness truly means and how people search for it, we can make informed choices to enhance our well-being and find joy in everyday life. To increase happiness, focus on building positive habits, nurturing relationships, practicing gratitude, and embracing challenges. Set meaningful goals, manage your time, and seek balance in life. Remember that happiness is a journey, not a destination. By making small, intentional changes, you can cultivate lasting joy and fulfillment. As we conclude, reflect on what happiness means to you personally. Consider the factors that bring you joy and fulfillment, and how you can integrate them into your daily life. Happiness is unique to each individual, shaped by values, experiences, and choices. By understanding and pursuing true happiness, we can enrich our lives and inspire others to do the same. Welcome to our exploration of how groups influence human behavior and what crowd psychology reveals about our actions. Throughout history, people have gathered in groups for various purposes, from celebrations to protests, and these gatherings often lead to behaviors that differ from individual actions. In this video, we'll delve into the fascinating world of crowd psychology, examining why we act differently when surrounded by others and uncovering the mechanisms behind group influence. We'll start by understanding the basics of group dynamics and then move on to real-world examples and scientific studies that highlight the power of crowds. Get ready to discover how being part of a group can shape your thoughts, feelings, and actions in ways you might not expect. Crowd psychology is a branch of social psychology that investigates how individuals behave in large groups. It explores the ways in which our thoughts, emotions, and actions are influenced by the presence and behavior of others. When we join a crowd, we often experience a sense of anonymity and shared purpose, which can lead to behaviors that are more extreme or uninhibited than when we are alone. This phenomenon has been studied extensively, revealing that crowds can amplify emotions, encourage conformity, and even spark collective action. Understanding crowd psychology helps us make sense of events like rallies, concerts, and protests, where group influence is at its peak. The study of crowd psychology dates back to the late 19th century, with pioneers like Gustave Le Bon and Sigmund Freud offering early theories. Le Bon believed that crowds possess a collective mind, which can override individual reasoning and lead to impulsive actions. Freud, meanwhile, explored how group dynamics affect the unconscious mind. These early theories laid the foundation for modern research, highlighting the importance of understanding how group settings can change individual behavior. Today, crowd psychology is a vital field that helps explain phenomena ranging from social movements to mass hysteria. Group dynamics refer to the processes and interactions that occur within a group. These dynamics can include roles, norms, communication patterns, and leadership structures. When individuals join a group, they often adopt behaviors and attitudes that align with the group's expectations. This can lead to conformity, where people change their actions to fit in, or even obedience, where they follow instructions from authority figures. Group dynamics are essential for understanding how crowds form, how they behave, and why individuals sometimes act against their own interests when part of a group. Conformity is one of the most powerful forces in group settings. It occurs when individuals adjust their behavior, beliefs, or attitudes to match those of the group. Classic experiments, such as Solomon Asch's line study, demonstrate how people are willing to go along with the majority, even when it contradicts their own perceptions. This tendency to conform can be seen in everyday life, from fashion trends to social media challenges. Understanding conformity helps us recognize how group pressure can influence our decisions and actions, sometimes without us even realizing it. Obedience is another key aspect of group influence. It refers to the tendency to follow orders from authority figures even when those orders conflict with personal values. Stanley Milgram's famous experiment revealed that people are surprisingly willing to obey instructions even if it means causing harm to others. This finding has profound implications for understanding how crowds can be manipulated by leaders or authority figures. Obedience is often heightened in group settings where individuals feel less personal responsibility and more pressure to comply. Social identity theory explains how our sense of self is shaped by the groups we belong to. According to this theory, we categorize ourselves and others into groups, such as nationality, religion, or sports teams. This categorization leads to in-group favoritism and out-group discrimination, affecting how we interact with others. Group membership can boost self-esteem and provide a sense of belonging, but it can also lead to conflict and prejudice. Understanding social identity theory helps us see why crowds often form around shared identities and why group loyalty can be so strong. De-individuation occurs when individuals in a crowd lose their sense of personal identity and responsibility. This phenomenon can lead to behaviors that are more impulsive, aggressive, or uninhibited. Factors like anonymity, group size, and emotional arousal contribute to de-individuation. Classic examples include riots, where people act in ways they would never consider alone. Understanding de-individuation helps explain why crowds sometimes engage in destructive or reckless behavior, and why group settings can diminish individual accountability. Emotional contagion refers to the spread of emotions within a group. When people gather, their feelings can quickly influence others, leading to shared excitement, anger, or fear. This process is often unconscious, as individuals pick up on facial expressions, body language, and vocal tones. Emotional contagion is especially powerful in crowds, where collective emotions can escalate rapidly. Examples include the enthusiasm at concerts or the panic during emergencies. Recognizing emotional contagion helps us understand how group moods are formed and how they drive crowd behavior. Groups often make decisions collectively, which can lead to outcomes that differ from individual choices. This process involves discussion, negotiation, and sometimes voting. While collective decision-making can harness diverse perspectives, it can also result in groupthink, where the desire for harmony overrides critical thinking. Groupthink can lead to poor decisions, as dissenting voices are silenced and risks are overlooked. Understanding how groups make decisions helps us recognize the strengths and weaknesses of crowd influence in important situations. Group polarization occurs when group discussions lead to more extreme positions than individuals would adopt alone. When people share similar views, their opinions can become stronger and more radical through group interaction. This effect is seen in political rallies, online forums, and social movements. Group polarization can amplify both positive and negative behaviors, making crowds a powerful force for change or conflict. Understanding polarization helps us see how group influence can escalate opinions and actions. Social facilitation describes how the presence of others can enhance individual performance. When people are watched by a group, they often perform better on simple or well-practiced tasks. However, for complex or unfamiliar tasks, group presence can increase anxiety and hinder performance. This phenomenon is common in sports, public speaking, and workplace settings. Understanding social facilitation helps us see how crowds can motivate or pressure individuals, depending on the situation. The bystander effect is a phenomenon where individuals are less likely to help in emergencies when others are present. This occurs because responsibility is diffused among the group, leading to inaction. Classic studies, such as the case of Kitty Genovese, illustrate how crowds can inhibit helping behavior. Understanding the bystander effect helps us recognize the importance of personal responsibility and the challenges of collective action in group settings. In emergencies, crowd behavior can be unpredictable and sometimes dangerous. Panic, stampedes, and mass evacuations are examples of how group influence can escalate during crises. Factors like fear, uncertainty, and lack of leadership contribute to chaotic crowd actions. Understanding how crowds behave in emergencies helps authorities plan safer responses and manage large gatherings more effectively. Leaders play a crucial role in guiding crowd behavior. Effective leaders can inspire, organize, and direct group actions, while poor leadership can lead to confusion or conflict. Leadership styles, communication skills, and authority all influence how crowds respond. Understanding the impact of leadership helps us see why some crowds are peaceful and productive, while others become unruly or violent. Social norms are unwritten rules that govern behavior in groups. These norms influence how people dress, speak, and interact, shaping group identity and cohesion. When individuals join a crowd, they often adopt the group's norms, even if they differ from their own values. Social norms can promote positive behaviors, such as cooperation, or negative ones, like exclusion. Understanding norms helps us see how group influence operates at a subtle, everyday level. Peer pressure is the influence exerted by group members to encourage conformity. It can be positive, motivating people to achieve goals, or negative, leading to risky or harmful behaviors. Peer pressure is especially strong among adolescents, but it affects people of all ages. Understanding peer pressure helps us recognize how group influence can shape choices, from academic performance to lifestyle decisions. Protests are a prime example of crowd psychology in action. Large groups gather to express shared grievances, demand change, or support causes. The collective energy of protests can inspire individuals to act boldly, but it can also lead to clashes with authorities. Understanding crowd psychology in protests helps us see how group influence drives social movements and shapes public opinion. Celebrations, such as festivals and sporting events, showcase the positive side of crowd psychology. Groups gather to share joy, excitement, and unity. The collective mood enhances individual happiness and creates memorable experiences. Understanding crowd psychology in celebrations helps us appreciate the benefits of group influence, from boosting morale to fostering community spirit. Sports events are another arena where crowd psychology shines. Fans gather to support their teams, creating a powerful sense of belonging and excitement. The energy of the crowd can influence players' performance and shape the outcome of games. Understanding crowd psychology in sports helps us see how group influence motivates both athletes and spectators. Online communities and social media groups are modern examples of crowd psychology. Virtual crowds can influence opinions, spread information, and drive trends. The anonymity and connectivity of online groups amplify group influence, sometimes leading to viral phenomena or online harassment. Understanding crowd psychology in digital spaces helps us navigate the challenges and opportunities of virtual group dynamics. Mass hysteria and collective delusions are extreme examples of crowd influence. These phenomena occur when groups share irrational beliefs or fears, leading to widespread panic or unusual behavior. Historical cases include witch hunts and rumors of disease outbreaks. Understanding mass hysteria helps us see how group influence can override rational thinking and spread rapidly through communities. Mob mentality describes how crowds can become aggressive or violent, acting as a single unit. Factors like anonymity, emotional arousal, and group pressure contribute to mob behavior. Examples include riots, lynchings, and violent protests. Understanding mob mentality helps us recognize the dangers of unchecked group influence and the importance of maintaining individual accountability. Group influence isn't always negative. Crowds can inspire cooperation, creativity, and collective problem solving. Positive group dynamics lead to teamwork, support, and shared achievements. Examples include volunteer efforts, collaborative projects, and community initiatives. Understanding the positive effects of group influence helps us harness the power of crowds for good. Group influence can also have negative consequences, such as peer pressure, conformity, and mob behavior. Crowds may encourage risky actions, suppress individuality, or promote prejudice. Recognizing the negative effects of group influence helps us guard against harmful behaviors and maintain personal integrity in group settings. Several factors influence how crowds behave, including group size, anonymity, leadership, and emotional arousal. Larger groups tend to be more anonymous and less accountable, while strong leadership can guide crowd actions. Emotional states, such as excitement or fear, also play a role. Understanding these factors helps us predict and manage crowd behavior in various situations. Communication is vital in shaping crowd behavior. Effective communication can unite groups, clarify goals, and prevent misunderstandings. In crowds, messages spread quickly, influencing emotions and actions. Leaders and organizers use communication strategies to manage crowds and direct collective action. Understanding the role of communication helps us see how information shapes group influence. Marketers often use crowd psychology to influence consumer behavior. Techniques like social proof, scarcity, and viral marketing rely on group influence to drive sales. When people see others buying or endorsing products, they are more likely to follow suit. Understanding crowd psychology in marketing helps us recognize how group influence shapes purchasing decisions. Political leaders and movements often harness crowd psychology to mobilize support. Rallies, speeches, and campaigns use group influence to inspire action and shape public opinion. The energy of crowds can sway elections and drive social change. Understanding crowd psychology in politics helps us see how group influence operates in the public sphere. Religious gatherings, rituals, and ceremonies are shaped by crowd psychology. Group influence fosters shared beliefs, emotional experiences, and community bonds. The collective energy of religious crowds can inspire devotion and reinforce faith. Understanding crowd psychology in religion helps us appreciate the role of group influence in spiritual life. Educational settings, such as classrooms and lectures, are influenced by crowd psychology. Group dynamics affect learning, motivation, and participation. Peer influence can encourage academic achievement or discourage engagement. Understanding crowd psychology in education helps teachers and students create positive group environments for learning. Workplaces are shaped by group influence, from team projects to company culture. Group dynamics affect productivity, creativity, and job satisfaction. Positive group influence leads to collaboration and innovation, while negative dynamics can cause conflict or stress. Understanding crowd psychology in workplaces helps managers build effective teams and foster a supportive environment. Entertainment events, such as concerts and movies, rely on crowd psychology to create excitement and engagement. The collective energy of audiences enhances enjoyment and shapes performers' actions. Group influence can turn ordinary experiences into unforgettable moments. Understanding crowd psychology in entertainment helps us see how crowds amplify emotions and create shared memories. Shopping environments, such as malls and sales events, are influenced by crowd psychology. Group behavior affects purchasing decisions, product popularity, and store atmosphere. Sales and promotions often create a sense of urgency and competition among shoppers. Understanding crowd psychology in shopping helps retailers design effective strategies and consumers make informed choices. Transportation systems, such as trains and airports, are shaped by crowd psychology. Group behavior affects movement, safety, and efficiency. Crowds can cause congestion, delays, or accidents if not managed properly. Understanding crowd psychology in transportation helps planners design safer and more efficient systems for public travel. Festivals and public gatherings showcase the power of crowd psychology. Group influence creates shared experiences, cultural traditions, and community bonds. The collective mood enhances enjoyment and fosters a sense of belonging. Understanding crowd psychology in festivals helps organizers create safe and memorable events. During crises, such as natural disasters or emergencies, crowd psychology plays a critical role. Group influence affects evacuation, rescue efforts, and public safety. Effective communication and leadership are essential for managing crowds and preventing panic. Understanding crowd psychology in crisis response helps authorities protect lives and maintain order. Urban planners use crowd psychology to design public spaces, transportation systems, and community facilities. Group behavior influences how people use parks, streets, and buildings. Understanding crowd psychology in urban planning helps create environments that promote safety, accessibility, and social interaction. Disaster management relies on understanding crowd psychology to coordinate relief efforts and maintain order. Group influence affects how people respond to emergencies, seek help, and follow instructions. Effective strategies harness positive group dynamics and minimize panic. Understanding crowd psychology in disaster management helps save lives and reduce chaos. Technology, such as smartphones and social media, amplifies crowd psychology by connecting people instantly. Group influence spreads rapidly through digital networks, shaping opinions, trends, and behaviors. Understanding crowd psychology and technology helps us navigate the challenges of online group influence and harness its benefits. Health campaigns and public health initiatives use crowd psychology to promote positive behaviors. Group influence encourages vaccination, healthy habits, and disease prevention. The collective action of crowds can drive widespread change and improve public health outcomes. Understanding crowd psychology in health helps authorities design effective interventions. Financial markets are influenced by crowd psychology as investors react to trends, rumors, and group behavior. Herd mentality can drive stock prices up or down, leading to bubbles or crashes. Understanding crowd psychology in finance helps investors make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Art exhibitions and performances are shaped by crowd psychology. Group influence affects appreciation, interpretation, and participation. The collective mood of audiences enhances artistic experiences and fosters creativity. Understanding crowd psychology in art helps artists and organizers create engaging events. Nature events, such as wildlife migrations or environmental protests, are influenced by crowd psychology. Group behavior affects conservation efforts, public awareness, and ecological outcomes. Understanding crowd psychology in nature helps environmentalists mobilize, support, and protect natural resources. In summary, crowd psychology reveals the profound impact of group influence on human behavior. From conformity and obedience to emotional contagion and collective action, groups shape our thoughts, feelings, and decisions in countless ways. By understanding the mechanisms of crowd psychology, we can harness the positive effects of group influence and guard against its dangers. Whether in protests, celebrations, workplaces, or online communities, the power of crowds is undeniable. Reflecting on these insights helps us become more aware of our own behavior in groups and make conscious choices that benefit both ourselves and society.